I don't want to see this from a team that I'm hoping
Exactly.
will drop will pick up
Yeah,
points versus Man City.
But hold on, Igal.
what you gonna,
Igal,
sorry.
this is the funny thing about like if you actively take part in sports, right? These guys probably like this is the best thing they could be doing, relaxing themselves a day in between when they're going to do another set of hard training or whatever it is. Like when I did active sports, after a fight or after a workout or after we're done training, we always work down, relax your muscle, go do something chill, take your mind off it. If you're consistently like, no, I'm going to just be, I'm going to, no, it's not. There's a time for there's a time to relax. And look, Fulham, if they're on holiday right now and they feel like they're gonna lose and they don't care anymore, that's not on us. I mean, I honestly right now, I don't care about City's games. I don't care who they're playing. If we lose our last two games, I'll be mad at Arteta. That's all I care about. Just win me my last two games and let me walk out of the season with my head held high. If City decide to go drop points, that's on them. If Fulham decides to go all out and beat City, that's on them. If West Ham on the last day decides we're going to stop them and play 0-0, that's on them. All I care about is Mikel win me my next two games. Let me go out at the end of the season and say, you know what? In 2024, you lost one game, you drew one, and you won all your. We played 17 games so far, won 15. Like, please, like I don't.
Okay,
Yeah,
so this is the question though: will Man City drop points and when?
The thing about the Fulham, right? Like, just to go back to that, like every elite sport, when you look at it, when you're looking at combat sport, whether you're looking at basketball, what do the players do before games? They have music on, they'll have podcasts on, they'll have massages done. They kind of just relax themselves because that's what you need to do in the big occasions. Like for Fulham, Man City is a pressured game, regardless of whether the stakes are high for us. The stakes are high for them as well because they've got a season that they need to conclude as well. And for them, what's the best thing to do? You don't focus on these games like it's the last thing that's going to happen. You need to relax yourself and not let the nerves build up. If all you're doing is prepping, that's the worst thing you can do. Even when you look at exams, for example, what the worst thing you can do is an overnighter before the exam. I know a lot of people do it, but they're the ones who tend to struggle in there. But if you can get a good night's rest, you're probably going to perform better. So I wouldn't look too much into it. But in terms of Man City dropping points, it doesn't look likely because they should be beating Fulham, they should be beating Spurs, and who's their last game? West Ham are going to roll over for them. So unless Fulham can do something, I don't see them dropping it. I think this weekend concludes the league for me. If they beat Fulham, it's done.
West Ham.
Can I
David
say
Moyes
something?
is leaving, so
Hey,
I have
hey,
hope.
hey,
West
guys.
Ham have a loyalty to City, by the way. They have a weird friendship.
No,
And
no,
they
but
hate us because we stole their captain.
I,
We stole
I
their
think
star.
I think for me, I don't share you guys' view in terms of a City going to drop a point. And what was that? Somebody said, Ateta go and win me these two games remaining, and that's what I mean. That's what
that's what.
matters.
Yeah,
And the thing is that I just want to put it this way: last season, the expectation was high, and Arsenal, for some reason, we were not able to meet up with the expectation because it was too high. This season, Arteta's got experience how to deal with it. It's kind of managed to implement that psychological uh, kind of strategy on the players, and they know how to deal with when it comes to these big games. So we going for the title. The title is not over yet. Is City going to drop point? Of course they'll drop point. Forget about what happened with Fulham today or what you saw. At the end of the day, maybe that's another strategy. Maybe that's another way of doing their homework. But I believe Tottenham, no matter if they don't drop point against Fulham, they'll definitely will drop point against Tottenham. Because Tottenham, if you look at Ange's position right now, is lost back-to-back games 4 times. So
Not
obviously
happening.
they got Fulham. They'll be playing Fulham very soon, and they only got two more games to be played at home. And their last game, home game, is against Man City. Are you telling me that they will just cross their arms and they will
No.
just say,
It
that what
won't be
you're telling me?
forced, but trust me, the way that Spurs play suits Man City to a T. That's
Yeah, but
exactly
Gunnar
what they
Solskjaer,
want.
Gunnar
They're
Solskjaer, you
like
need
a
to,
buggy
yeah,
team.
but you hear what he's saying though. You hear what he's saying.
Are
I
we
He's saying,
really
hear it. They had
expecting
to
He's
beat
saying,
us. They had to
unless,
beat us. What
oh,
did
no,
they
no,
do?
listen,
They
no,
had their
listen,
legs wide open for us.
Gunnar Solskjaer, hold on. I agree. Look, hear me out. So what we're saying is that even if we look at Tottenham is going to lose the rest of their games this season. So they're going to lose 7 on the bounce. Is that what we're saying?
I don't think
They've
so.
got Burnley,
Exactly.
they'll
I
beat
don't
No,
think
Burnley.
they're going to lose.
They'll
no.
win
So hear me
their
out.
next game against Burnley.
So here's what we're saying though. You know, usually when teams lose, they get to a point where it's like, there's a bounce back. It's like we have to get, whether it's at the end of the season or not. He's saying if Tottenham lose their next game and then they have to go on to play City, that means 5 losses on the bounce. No. Look, see, we said the same thing about Chelsea when they played Burnley, and I told people, I said Burnley could actually go there and
but Chelsea is a different situation.
but it's foot. See, Gunnar Solskjaer, I can sit here and say this team is better, but I cannot predict what will happen in the game. I can tell you,
but certain scenarios are not as surprising as others. When you look at but all I'm saying is look at the strategies both play. Look at the tactics they both played. That's all I'm saying. If you put City with a high line with Haaland and KDB against you, you're done for. That's a hat trick.
I hear you, right, and we've seen them play other teams that played them a high line, and City struggled with them this season as well. City has had their off days in games, but they found a way to score 1 goal or 2 goals. What I'm saying is there's also another side on the end of the spectrum to the other team. The other team has been losing, and now they're like, look, we need to win at least 2 games or 3. We're not fighting for anything but for dignity. Like just the fact that we can't turn around and be like, Tottenham lost 7 games back to back, or lost 4, 1-1, then lost the last 2. You see what I'm saying? Like that mentality as well. So you have to think about it from the way they're going to be thinking.
It's not a mentality thing, though. You look at it, okay?
It is.
You look
it
at
is
certain,
also.
but you
it
look
is
at
also because
games,
City has not scored. Listen, City has not beat them except during the FA Cup at their stadium in the last 6 games, or this 6, in the last 6 games they played. City hasn't scored at their stadium in the last 6 games outside the FA Cup in the league. That's another thing which is why I said mentality-wise, you've been losing. Now, a team that has never scored against you at your stadium, a team that has never really beat you at your stadium except during the FA Cup, you're like, man, you know what? Let me see if I have a bounce back. I'm not saying they will win, but I'm saying they will give a fight.
Let me hear from the rest of the guys for a second, guys. Let me hear from
the one that I'm putting any hope on.
Let me hear from the rest of the guys for a second.
Yeah,
Obviously, we know what games we have, and we're going to talk about them in a second. I'm just going to go to Kenny Ken in a second. Kenny Ken, do you have any faith in any of these other teams picking up points versus Man City? You're on mute, mate.
You're on mute.
It's one game at a time. You can't. City can't play Spurs before they play Fulham. That's the next game. The Spurs game is the next. It isn't the next cab of the rack. Is Fulham. One thing I would say is that both teams are running out of games. We're running out of possible snookers. Whatever happens between Craven Cottage, what happens at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, the events at Old Trafford is paramount. We got to concentrate on our own game. City can drop points to their heart content, but if we don't beat Man United, then it's going to be to no avail. And that's what we got to do. We've got to beat Man United. In terms of Fulham, look, the reason why a lot of people are looking at City is because they're banging form. When was the last time City lost a game? The last time they lost Premiership.
December 6th. December. They haven't lost a game since December.
They haven't lost since Aston Villa, isn't it? Since Aston Villa.
They haven't lost since December 6th. Just take that. Since December 6th, they've not lost a game.
Yeah, so they're banging form. So you're looking at the City side. You're looking at the fact that although Haaland's been, people think Haaland's been hit and miss. In 28 games, he's got 25 goals. So the pessimism from Arsenal fans is well grounded. However, you never know what's going to happen at the Craven Cottage. If they do win at Craven Cottage, then we have to win at Old Trafford, and then we can talk about the Spurs.
No, we have to win all our games irrespective.
We're talking one game at a time, though. You can't play Everton before you play Man United. So that's what I'm saying. One game at a time. We've got to go one game at a time. So the first building block is City are playing at 12:30 on Saturday.
So you guys are saying Arsenal need a miracle, and City can drop points, but they won't.
Arsenal need to win all their games. That's what we're saying. Arsenal need to win all their games to have a chance of winning the title. If they don't win all their games, irrespective of City's results against the three London sides, it wouldn't matter anything. City would just, like I said, win the title without having to work their nuts off. We've got to make City work. That's what I'm saying.
What are you saying, African Gunner?
Yeah, I mean, personally for me, I have two situations in my mind. The first one is that we win all our games and Man City win all their games. And it's just one of those things. We finish on 89 points, which usually wins you the league in pretty much every season. I think that's the first possibility. The second, which is the one that's like the one with a higher likelihood of happening, that I think, that I'm preparing myself for. And the second one for me is, I think people are discrediting Spurs. I know they're terrible, but I mean, they play decent against big teams. So for me, forget Fulham and West Ham. That's the game that I think maybe they can get a draw. I don't think they'll win, but that's the game I'm really hoping that maybe it'll be a 0-0 or a 1-1, because they have players to hurt them. I think Fulham doesn't have players to hurt them, and I think West Ham are just going to be on the beach. Their fans are already talking about, opening up their, to take a 6-0 beating. So yeah, look. I'm not depending on them.
And it's 3 London clubs that we're depending on.
I know. It's going to be a shame.
Here's the thing, though. Like,
let's hear 1 second. Let me hear from Belgium. He on this. Belgium, do you have any faith?
Do you know what? I've heard everyone. I mean, do you know everyone's making a point? But the thing is that, listen, City coming to Fulham, right? And the following week playing Tottenham. There's no way that City will not drop points. There's no way. I mean, I just don't understand these narratives when people coming out or when people come up and say, "Oh, City, that's it. They're going to win every single game." Football is not mathematics. Yeah, it can just go wrong for them on a day. We'll be shocked, and I believe that if Fulham doesn't do it, Tottenham will do it. So I still believe that City will drop points. But surely we got to make sure that we take care of our business. We go by our business. So on Sunday, we got to win.
So I think that's a good segue. But before Daya wanted to say one more thing, and we're gonna go on to the Manchester United game.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, in football, anything can happen. We all know that, but we have to be very realistic. City look, and hear me out. This is what I'm saying. They look like a team that is not going to drop points. That's how they look, and that's how they're playing right now. No. They look in form. No, they look. Hear me out. Is what look. Mike Tyson was the heavyweight boxer of the world, beating everybody from when he was 18. When he fought with James Buster Douglas, nobody expected that he would get knocked out, and nobody believed that fight was going to happen the way it did. Tyson was still the scariest man, but he got knocked out. What I'm saying is, you might look the part, and there might be a stumbling block in your path, or there may not be. You may surmount it. Regardless of what it is, I just want to be able to say that they did not win the league until the last day because we won all our games. And if they stumble on the way and then they give it to us, I'll take it. But I don't want to believe it. No. That's what I'm saying. I believe. Listen, you know what I believe? Belgium. What I believe is that Arsenal will win their next 2 games. That's my belief. My thing is, win our next 2 games. City can go on and do whatever the hell they want. If they want to go stumble, please go stumble. But as long as Arsenal don't lose against Manchester United and hand the league to City this weekend, I say, here you go. We've lost, because we're all talking about, will City drop points? If we go and play a draw at Old Trafford because we think that they're crap, even though they've been crap, we know what Old Trafford sets up for us all the time. So I'm more concerned. Yeah, I'm concerned about us going there and winning. We get our points. We go to Everton. We get our points. Whatever City does, if City likes, they should get excited. Okay, well, now we just have West Ham on the last day and play crazy and get a red card and go down to 10 men, and West Ham decide to win 2-1. Mikel Antonio, somebody, hey, good luck to us. If it doesn't happen,
did you not see how they just played this week?
But this is
he makes a point. He makes a point, guys.
We've seen this happen.
Guys,
we've seen
Old
teams play
Trafford.
badly.